Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to find the values of unknown terms in a quadratic series. In today's lesson we are given the following quadratic sequence. Now as you can see, two of the terms in this quadratic sequence are unknown because they contain x's. So what we need to do is we need to know or calculate the values of these x's so that we can calculate the values of these terms. So we are going to learn how to actually calculate the value of x. Now, since this is a quadratic sequence, we know that a quadratic sequence has a second constant difference. So we are going to make use of that information. So first of all, we are going to find the first differences by saying 11 minus x. So we write it as 11 minus x. Then we're going to say x minus 10 minus 11, and we'll write it as x minus 10 minus 11. And we do this calculation. It ends up to be x minus 21. Now we do it for these two terms as well. So minus 7 minus x minus 10. And we write it as minus 7 minus, and we put the x minus 10 in brackets because we're actually subtracting two values at the same time. Okay, so now what do we do here? We can simply use the distributive law. So we multiply that minus in, and then we end up with minus 7 minus x plus 10. And then we get minus x plus 3. Now this is called the first difference, but we know that a quadratic sequence doesn't have a first constant difference. It has a second constant difference. So we have to do subtracting again. So we'll take the x minus 21 and minus 11 minus x from it. And we'll write it as x minus 21 minus, and we put the 11 minus x in brackets because again we are subtracting more than one value at the same time. So here we again do the distributive law. The minus gets multiplied in, and we end up with x minus 21 minus 11 and plus x. And then x plus x gives us 2x. And minus 21 minus 11 is a minus 32. Now that's how far as we can go with these two terms. Now let's do it for these two. So we have minus x plus 3 minus x minus 21. And we write it as minus x plus 3 minus, and in brackets x minus 21 because again we are subtracting more than one value at the same time. So this is another distributive law, and it changes both the signs inside the bracket. So we get minus x plus 3 minus x plus 21. So minus x and minus x gives us minus 2x, and plus 3 plus 21 gives us plus 24. Now that is how far as we can go with these two terms. But now this will be our second constant differences. And as we know, they are exactly the same answers for the entire series because we are busy with the quadratic series. The second constant difference is always the same. So we equate these two so that we can solve for x. So the minus 2x goes to this side, it becomes a plus 2x, while the minus 32 goes to this side and becomes plus 32. So on the right side we end up with 56. On the left side we end up with 4x. So 56 divided by the coefficient gives us 14, and x is equal to 14. So that means this first term is 14, and 14 minus 10 is a 4. And that is our quadratic series. Now we can use all the information from our previous lessons to find the second constant difference as well as the general formula. Hope you could follow, and see you next time. Bye.